and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit more about burnout. So if you guys have been following my videos over the last few months, I've been talking a lot about my health journey and you know, all the different revelations and things I've discovered with my health. So this is kind of like a second part to that, or an update as such. I don't feel like I can say this is the final conclusive video of everything because it's a journey, right? And I'm still discovering things, still learning things, and still working through that process as well. So today I really want to talk about what burnout is, how we can feel burnout, how we can witness burnout, and also as a woman, how I've experienced that. Obviously, I can't speak from the male perspective, but as a woman, I can speak from the womanly perspective. And also why burnout is not a badge of honor as well, because I feel like burnout, especially in the coaching industry, is quite praised sometimes of like, I'm doing all of this, I'm doing all of that. So I just feel like if I can share my experience of that, one as a businesswoman, but secondly, as a spiritual person as well, hopefully it can help any of you guys who are experiencing that as well. And of course it can happen to any of us, whether you're a mother, whether you work for a company, whether you're unemployed, whether you're self-employed. Like, we can all experience burnout in so many different ways throughout our life as well. So how I first knew I had burnout was only actually very recently. I wouldn't have said over my whole health journey I thought, yep, I'm burnt out. But what I've learned and what I spoke about in my previous video, so from having chronic stress over the last few years, down to, I wouldn't say it was down to work. I think I say I had good boundaries with work. I definitely didn't, but I knew when to switch off with work if it got too much. Like, I knew when to like hit the stop button and reset. But I think in my personal life, obviously I'm not going to go into examples, but because of the previous relationship I was in, it was very stressful and it was continuously stressful for a long period of time. My body was very much in that fight or flight, very much in that stressful state. So I would throw myself into work to kind of just escape it all and just focus on the positives, focus on the good. And of course, like, working yourself silly as well for even just distractions also causes it as well. So I can see very easily how this little concoction or recipe for burnout happened. So last December, as I said in my previous video, my skin was just awful. So I've had chronic acne for the last few years as well, which is a symptom of the chronic stress and burnout and everything else that's been going on in my body, hormone imbalance wise. But really my health took a massive downward spiral in December, where I had to take time off, and I was just like, whoa, something is not right here. So I've spoke about my journey of my hormone imbalance before, so obviously go and watch that. But just an update to that, I do still need to go to the doctors and get a blood test. I've been naughty, I keep putting it off and I keep forgetting. So I feel like my hyperlactin has gone down because my skin is improving and I feel better within my body. But until I have a blood test, obviously I don't know the conclusive evidence to that. So I have been supplementing to support that, and also trying different things as well. And one thing that really came up past the hormone imbalance, once I'd, you know, had the diagnosis that it just was hyperlactin and that's it, nothing else, praise the Lord, and it will reduce naturally, which again, a very massive relief as well to hear that. I did obviously start taking supplements and, you know, nutritional things to help support that, reducing that, and again just doing walking and yoga, no intense exercise as well. So then I really got onto the deeper aspects, and the universe was kind of leading me down this path of like liver function, kidney function, gut function as well. And a lot of what I was seeing was gut health. And I had quite a serious illness when I was a child, and I looked up the long-term effects of that. And so IBS, leaky gut syndrome, like all these things I was experiencing was the long-term effects of that. And I thought, I have never supported my gut. I mean, I do take probiotics. I have always done that for the last couple of years now. But really, I was like, how do you heal leaky gut? And it was only because someone had that conversation with me of like, oh, I'm trying to heal my leaky gut. And I was like, leaky gut, what is this? So it's like almost like the universe was dropping these breadcrumbs of like, look into your gut health, look at this, look at that. So what I discovered was probably more than likely my gut was not very happy. and you know, leaky gut can also happen because of chronic stress as well. So like, as soon as we stress our bodies out over long periods of time, our gut throws itself off balance, and then things like obviously chronic acne can happen, hormone imbalances, all these different things. So it was almost like, again, like another piece to the puzzle as such of, okay, this could be what's wrong. So I'm not going to make this whole video about what I'm taking and what I'm doing, but I just want to give some context to how we've got to the burnout side of things. So I started taking Simprove, which was highly recommended to me by a lot of nutritionists. And Simprove, again, this is not an ad, I paid for it. I'm just trying to share some helpful information that has more than helped me. So Simprove is not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's a 12-week program that you go on, and it just really supports the gut health. It's like a boot camp 101 for the gut, of getting your gut to good health. So I'm about 5 weeks into it now. Yeah, 5 weeks into it, so nearly halfway. And even in the first 3 to 4 weeks, I saw massive improvements with my skin, my energy, my health. And again, I was on really high probiotics. I was on 50 billion, which is pretty much, I think, the highest you can get. So I was taking probiotics, I was doing that, but this Simprove, which is specifically for leaky gut as well, and just to really boost you, even if you don't have leaky gut syndrome, really helped me. Now, again, this is me diagnosing myself, but leaky gut is, again, something which the NHS or health systems don't really tend to look into. So for me, I'm like, well, why wouldn't I do this stuff? This is all tying in. I'm trusting my intuition, trusting my gut. And you know, why wouldn't I listen to that? So I have seen massive improvements on Simprove. So I would absolutely highly recommend Simprove. Like, I can't wait to see the results in another 6 weeks time. And I also started some supplements from JS Health, I think they're called. I saw loads of recommendations for these guys online, and I'm taking the skin and digestion ones. So it's kind of like, which one is contributing to the benefits? But I feel like both together are, you know, I'm seeing those benefits as well. So yes, I would check out JS Health for there. So I've got skin and digestion, and then Nourish and Glow powder. I haven't started taking the Nourish and Glow powder because I didn't just want to try 3 different things and then not know what was maybe making it worse or making it better. So right now I'm taking Simprove and the skin and digestion tablets, and I feel like it is helping. So 2 amazing things that are giving me progress in inside health and outside health as well. And also bloating's massively gone down. Like, my stomach is a whole new tummy right now. I'm like, where have you been? And again, since taking the Simprove, I've naturally lost weight as well. And again, I have not gone on this journey to lose weight. I gained weight because of imbalanced hormones, which is something I know a lot of you guys have related to. A lot of you have messaged me saying, oh my God, thank God you're talking about this, because it is true. When your hormones are imbalanced, sometimes you just put weight on and you can't help it. No matter how much you diet, no matter how much you do, it just blooming happens. So for me to even just naturally be losing weight now without having to try, and it feels good, and feeling more in my body again, feeling like myself, feels great, because I haven't felt like that in so freaking long. So that's the kind of bodily update. So with Luna coming into my life, I've had a month off. I've been doing YouTube videos and small things, obviously, just to keep things afloat and content creation, but the real bulk of my work I haven't done for a month. And I realized as I slowed down, and Luna really did slow me down, how much I was burnt out. And I thought, this is interesting, because you really, like, you've been trying to create this balance in your work, you've been trying to, you know, feel better in your work and all of this for so long, and you thought you'd nailed it, but now actually you're actually taking, well, I can't say full time off, I was working, like I said, but a massively decreased workload. I realized, oh my God, you were not happy with this workload, like something has to shift. And obviously you guys would have seen me talk about me changing my coaching, my one-to-one coaching dynamics, because again, like, my platforms have grown so much over the last 4 years, and I'm so grateful for that. And to have you guys all here, of course I blooming am, like, it's the best gift ever. But I can't show up and serve in the way I was 4 years ago now with more people and try and keep that energy up, you know. Like, I've got the membership, I've got my courses, I've got all my free content, I've got the podcast, I've got one-to-one sessions, I've got so many different things that I do. I write books, I do, you know, I have a personal life as well. Like, you know, I do so much. I think it made me realize that actually something really needs to massively shift. And I do still provide amazing value for content. I have the membership, I have the courses, I have so many different routes that I can still work with people and be accessible. But actually for the one-to-one sessions, which take the most energy, because obviously like it's not just me sat there with you, I have to give you advice, I'm holding the space, you know, it is a big energetic, not drain, but a big energetic use of my daily energy to do one-to-one sessions, right? So I feel like that really put a lot into perspective of me, and I really have to put my health first, because I'm seeing firsthand what that burnout is doing to my health, to me, and even to like my joy as well. Like I feel like with this month off, I've realized actually like this is what I want more of, and I haven't prioritized in the last 3-4 years because I haven't wanted to, I haven't needed to, and I've wanted to throw myself into work, which is why, you know, my platforms have grown so much and things have taken off because I've put that energy in. So it's been a big shift and a big kind of pivot, I guess, in my life, but I'm seeing so many benefits from this, so much happiness and so many things that I've wanted for so long happening because I'm making that shift and I'm creating that boundary and I'm creating that shift where I'm able to serve in a better way, but also serve in a way that is honoring my health and honoring burnout. So I realized I had burnout, and a couple of my friends had this around me as well. So I was clearly seeing like, although I don't have it as extreme as them, I am really experiencing, I guess, mild or subtle symptoms. So not only my gut health, not only my skin, but also I think just that lackluster of joy was really another one for me of like, is it actually bringing me joy? Like, do I actually feel joy? And my work brings me so much joy. I know that. And so does my coaching. But when you're feeling that exhaustion, when you're feeling that burnt out, you can't just enjoy it. You're like, oh, you know. So I feel like so many of us can relate to this. And especially over lockdown, I feel like a lot of people do feel burnt out, and like I'm seeing all over social media right now, people feeling drained by Instagram, feeling burnt out. They don't want to post anything, they don't know what to post, we haven't got any new content to post. And I think like even on a social media level, everybody's feeling so burnt out because that's all we've been doing for a year. It's like work, nothing to post, nothing new. And it's like, I think people are just fed up. And then you've got all the algorithms and all the ridiculous rules that exist of like how people see your post, when to post, when not to post. Like I was saying to, and I've had this conversation with so many of my friends, I think a lot of us are just feeling exhaustion with that, of just like, and like I said to my friend, I just want to connect. I just want to create content and connect with people. Like, I don't want all this like ridiculousness that comes with it. So there's like that level of exhaustion, which I think so many of us are feeling. But then I think we're feeling that burnout of work as well, even just burnout of not feeling our joy in the ways that we want to right now necessarily because of lockdown, because of COVID, because of whatever the reason is. But what I really want to stress is like, I'm not talking about COVID times, and let's talk about as a whole here, but when especially women are in that state of burnout, it is detrimental to your health, whether it's your hormone health, your sexual health, your gut, anything, you know, like all of these things have a knock-on effect when you're in burnout. And like, you know, my friend always said to me, Hannah always said to me, like the amount of women in the spiritual space who are successful entrepreneurs, they have fertility issues, womb issues, this like gut issues, whatever. And it's so true because there's this like culture of push, do, achieve. And it's great that masculine energy is great, but we also have to realize we're one freaking person. And I think that's what I realized as well, is like, I'm one person, I can't keep doing this. And I took on team, you know, I have people who work for me, which is amazing. And I still do like 90% of everything myself because I want it to be me, of course. But you know, I have people who relieve a little bit of that pressure for me and really do relieve a lot of pressure, or some of the tasks I don't necessarily need to do. And even with that, it's still like you're just one person and you have your own life too to live. So I think it's like really finding that balance of the push and pull, of trusting the universe that you're going to be supported, and trusting that if you take that step back, you're not going to feel a decrease. Because a lot of the women I coach say, but Emma, I hear what you're saying, but what if I pull back and then the money stops? Or what if I pull back and this happens? And I can tell you from a first person perspective, you are supported. Like when I've done it, I've had those panics, but I've just thought, you know what? I trust, and it's not the end of the world. And I've always been supported by the universe because I'm honoring myself and showing up in such a more better aligned place for everybody, for myself, for the people I work with, for my family, for my loved ones, for my friends. Like when you can show up in that cup full state because you're filling your own cup, why would the universe punish you for that? The universe isn't sat there being like, come on, you need to work, hustle, hustle, hustle. You're doing it, you're showing up. That is half the job, right? But the second half is also receiving, and it's also supporting ourselves and nourishing ourselves. So some signs of burnout, you know, it really can look different for everybody. Obviously, I've spoken about a very kind of feminine point of view here of what burnout can look like, but it can be things like emotional burnout. It can be physical burnout. Burnout comes in many different forms as well. You could be feeling emotionally burnt out, and I think I definitely resonated with that side of it more rather than physically burnt out. Although I had physical symptoms, I wasn't, you know, like my friend who's exhausted and can't do anything. But so many people I'm seeing online are talking about burnout right now and saying, you know, they've had to like stop working for 6 months. They've had to like, you know, really focus on their health, and like, you don't want to get to a stage where that is the only thing you can do. And I think the key to it is catching it early. And I feel like that's what I did. And like the universe really guided me to that. And I think when you can catch it early and witness it, you can, you know, stop it in its tracks and take that positive action to then realign and reassess what your priorities are, but also what you can do moving forward to not continue doing that and not get in that state again. So I think, you know, it's great to have that motivation, it's great to have that passion, it's great to want to do all these things, but remember you're one person and you have all of your life to achieve these things. There is no rush. This whole invisible rush that exists on the internet, or this whole invisible burnout is the best thing ever because it means you're working hard, is BS. Please do not do it. It is not healthy, it's not serving you, it's not serving other people, and does it really make you happy? Like, I think overall, like if we were to survey everybody who's in that place, would they be happy? No, they freaking wouldn't be. And they wouldn't be happy because it's not feeling good to them, but they're doing it for, you know, whether it's money or to push or to have success, or like me, maybe it was to just throw yourself into something to distract yourself. Like, there are so many different ways or reasons why we do that. But also we do live in a society and culture where that's really encouraged and really seen as normal. And it's not normal. Like, our body is not designed to constantly be in that state, just as it's not designed to constantly be in flight or fight mode or to be in chronic stress or chronic anxiety. So it's really about like looking at your body and looking and listening. Like, intuitively your body tells you so many messages and so many things. And I look over the years, and even like when my body's felt drawn to like eating certain things or stopping certain things, like when I've gone on supplements, one day I'll be like, no, I don't want to take that anymore, and it's because the hormones realigned, and then I go and have a blood test and it confirms it. So our bodies are very intelligent beings, very intelligent, and tell us all the time what it needs. We just have to listen. And really, you know, our gut health, again, I'm not going to make this all about gut health, but it is so important. And when we're feeling burnt out, you know, whether it's gut, hormone, or whatever, even emotional health, physical health can be so affected. And it's only when we slow down that we really start to see the true effects of that and the true, I guess, the true essence of it, the true magnitude of what we're experiencing. Because when we slow down, our bodies have that time to be like, so you'll probably find a lot of the time, and I've seen this in people where they'll work really hard and then they'll go on holiday for a week and be ill the whole week, and it's because their body is slowing down and being like, right, I can exhale now. And it's like, our body should not be doing that. Our body should not be doing that. And if your body is doing that, that is a very clear sign that you need to slow down, stop, and work less. But again, like I said, it doesn't have to be just work that gives us burnout. It could be relationships, it could be friendships, it could be just situations in life in general. There are so many different things that contribute to burnout, but really it's about getting honest with yourself and really witnessing it. Because, you know, you can feel fatigued, you can feel this, you know, a lot of the time people feel burnout when they're tired. And yes, you may feel tired, of course, but actually when your body is in that kind of like get up and go state, you don't always feel tired. And a lot of the time I haven't noticed from the people around me and from my own experiences, I don't feel tiredness is one of the key things to look out for. It's normally a physical health symptom. So for mine was feeling really odd in my body, obviously having the high prolactin, chronic acne. For my friend, it was her vocal cords. I can't remember her exact diagnosis of what it was, but she had to rest, and then when she rested, her whole body then went through this whole burnout recovery. And remember, we're energetic beings, so the universe is gonna literally stop us in our tracks however it needs to. So my friend's a singer, so of course her vocal cords, I mean, my skin didn't really stop me in my tracks. Of course, I still show up, I can wear makeup, it's not the end of the world. But in terms of energy levels, when it really hit me in December, I couldn't just show up. I couldn't just go to work and show up because I was blooming exhausted and just couldn't get energy no matter what I tried. But that was obviously a long drawn out, because I'd already had so many signs for so long. This was kind of like the point where the universe was like, stop. And then I had that rest, and then I picked back up in a new way. And now like I've had that rest again, and I'm like, right, now I need to pick this up in a new, more calmer, aligned way. And what brings you joy is the biggest question and biggest point I want you to take away from this, because burnout is not fun and it doesn't serve anybody. And although you may think it's earning you money or it's gaining you success or whatever you think it's gaining you, really in the grand picture of things, in the grand scheme, it means sweet F all. If you don't have your health, you have nothing, literally nothing. And I always like, that always sticks with me, of like, your health is your true version of wealth, because our bodies are keeping us alive on this planet. If your body just stops and says no, how are you going to get up and go to work? How are you going to function? How are you going to do anything? Your whole life would change. And it's, our bodies are the one things that we never prioritize enough. And even if it's just like, you know, on a practical level, slowing down, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to rest, having a really good self-care and self-love routine each week to fill your own cup and nourish and give yourself the love that your body and you deserve. Maybe it is looking into supplements and nutrition. Maybe it is, you know, maybe eating a bit healthier, trying new things, supporting your gut, supporting your hormones, whatever it may be. There are so many different things to it, like physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But again, even spiritually, of like, look at what that burnout is triggering or causing. So, you know, for my friend, for example, she was massively out of alignment in what she wanted to do in work. For me, I had to deal with the personal life side of things and get that feeling good to then realign with work and say, right, how can I get that feeling good and that more in balance to support the personal life I want as well? And it will look different for everybody. Those are just two little examples from, you know, myself and people I know. But really, burnout is also a massive call from the universe to say, hey, what's not feeling good? What do you want to do differently here? We're stopping you in your tracks. What do you want to do differently? So don't just think it's, oh, I've just worked too hard, because there's always a deeper meaning to it. There's always going to be that emotional and spiritual reason why you're doing something like that, or why you're pushing yourself to that extreme. Is it fear of failure? Is it a distraction? Is it out of a, you know, just you're out of alignment, and that's why you're feeling that burnout? There will always be such a deeper reason to it, and I think that is where you need to start. Of look at why you're feeling burnt out, or what the burnout, or why you feel you're doing so much or working so much to experience that burnout. And then from there, you've got to heal your body. Like, you've got to heal your body, and that can be rest. Like I said, that could be supplements, that could be health things, that could be physical stuff. And obviously I'm always a preacher of the NHS and healthcare systems, because we're physical beings, we have physical problems sometimes. So of course, like, definitely get physical support with that as well, of course. But support yourself on all three levels, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and really look at why you are experiencing that burnout. What is the message? What is that mirror that is being shone to you of what you can do differently and align better with to feel and experience more joy? Because really, that's the key, and that's the essence of this. You want to be experiencing and feeling more joy. So how can you experience and feel more joy? Is it slowing down? Is it changing? And like, ever since I've taken those steps in my business and my personal life to really change the focus and pivot and honor me, my joy, and, you know, look at how unhealthy, well, not unhealthy, but how it wasn't serving me what I was doing before, massive shifts. And I'm like, okay, this feels good. And that's not to say in 6 months time I might have to reevaluate again. That's a good thing about life. We can reevaluate, change our minds, and do things whenever we want to. But I think we get so used to doing things in a certain way, especially as a Virgo, that you then think, hey, I can't keep doing what I was doing 4 years ago. I can't keep doing what I was doing at the beginning, because I'm not at the beginning. I'm like way further ahead now. And you know, if it's alignment within what you're doing, again, you're not in the same place. So sometimes, or like, you know, I guess say all of the time, it is that misalignment of how can you align yourself to what feels like joy and what's going to serve yourself and look after your body too. But burnout is not a badge of honor, and that's what I really want to say, because it's nothing to be proud of. I'm not sat here like, yeah, burnout, I work so hard. I'm like, oh gosh, like I really could have done without the last year of like healing and all these things I've paid for, and supplements and blood tests and trips to the hospitals and all these different scans and all this anxiety of, have I got this, haven't I got that, resting, then having, do you know what I mean? Like, I think we could always say you don't really want to have to go through that. So if you can catch it early and have that awareness, you're halfway there already. You're halfway towards the shift, right? So don't let it get to that. And it's not a case of, oh, look, well, you've just worked really hard. It's way more than that. Way more than that. But also as well, like, is that what you want to be remembered for? Oh, she worked so hard that she then run herself into the ground and couldn't do anything. No, like it has to be sustainable. It has to be, you know, the consistency and sustainability has to be there as well with your work, with your purpose, your passions, your desires. So you have to create that container for that consistency and sustainability in a healthy, aligned way. And that's what the universe is showing you of how to do that yourself. Anyway, I feel like this was a really long video, but thank you for watching. And I hope that anything I've said has helped you and maybe sparked some inquiry within yourself as well, of maybe how you can rest and slow down and support your beautiful body as well. And of course, like I said, this is a journey. This is just another piece of the puzzle. Whether this is a final piece, I don't know yet, but we will see. And obviously I will keep you guys updated as well. So thank you so much guys for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget you can leave a comment in the comments box down below as I reply to them all. And you can also join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. So I hope you have a great week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in my next YouTube video, which will be next week. Lots of love, guys.